And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, September the 24th, 2022. It is Season 16, Episode 32. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
And welcome into the show. If you would like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. You can check out In-Game Chat for all, or InGameChat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at In-Game Chat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us. I'm hovering over I'm got to get real close to the screen to read what I've written here. I don't have to. My microphone was over there, so I was doing the thing. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us, everyone at InGameChat.net. We're streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv, type in In-Game Chat. You'll find us. Not a problem. It's real simple. Go to our website, InGameChat.net. Go all the way to the bottom of the page. Links for days. For everything you need to get in touch with us, or to watch us, or to listen to us, or to even join us in Discord, which is where we're at right now. So we're on Twitch, we're on Discord, and you get the idea. We're everywhere you want to be, I guess. I don't know. We're everywhere you are. Whatever all that stuff is. Anyway, welcome into the show, everybody. Oh, boy. There's a lot. A lot happened this week.
Yeah.
A lot happened. So normally, I mean, outside of game releases, you know how this show goes. Hey, that game came out. Did you play it? No, I didn't. Or yeah, I did. It's like, or they're working on a new game and this is what we learned. And blah, blah, blah. No. There's been like 2 weeks of stuff. And Bama Brian gave me a reminder. Thank you so much, Brian, for helping me out with that. I got to tighten these things. So let's do it during the show. Why not? Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to have to... Yeah, I'll do that during a break. That's gotten very loose. Mm-hmm. So I will do that during a break. Otherwise, it'll come apart. We'll lose our clap, which, I don't know. That works as well. So you don't get any information with this, like you do with this, like the episode title and they're the number and stuff like that.
Title, episode number, date, all that good stuff.
All that interesting information that we need for the show. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happened and continues to happen, and it's all from, I don't know. Where do you want to start chronologically, or do you just want to go down with the order of the news here to go right into it? I don't know. What do we hit first?
For me, it all just goes into, it's just one big issue based off one intrusion.
Yeah. So do we talk about graphics cards, which were announced on Wednesday, I think, or do we talk GTA leak?
Save the best for last then.
Oh, which one's better?
Better would be the best one would be the GTA leak.
The GTA leak? Yeah, I guess, because it has a beginning and an end, sort of.
And law enforcement involvement. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it has a, here's what happened. Here's the resolution, or no, I say the resolution, but here's what maybe the end
consequences.
Of it. Yeah.
Consequences.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's start off with just the whole NVIDIA thing. So last week, we tell you that EVGA is getting out of their partnership with NVIDIA. Not going to make any more graphics cards for you guys. We're not making any graphics cards whatsoever. Now, I don't know what they're planning on doing to fill that 80% revenue hole that they now have. But it was always wondering, like, why are they doing this? And their big complaint is mostly because NVIDIA treats them like, second rate, I suppose. Mm-hmm. You can't sell cards lower than what we sell cards for. So you can't match our prices, and you can't go below them. So you got to sell them higher than what we sell our own. I think that's I don't like that idea. Mm-hmm. I get why it's in place, but this seems a stupid idea to me. So there's that, and there were some other complaints as well that they had that I don't want to say that they were minor. I don't want to diminish that. It was just the sense that was one of the biggest, was that you do nothing for us, but we do everything for you because we sell at a higher price, which means yours are the ones, that puts more emphasis on your price, which is lower than ours, and we can't match that, or we can't do that. Yeah. Communication, all this other stuff. That's fine. Really didn't think anything of it up until Wednesday, when we get the new cards from NVIDIA announced, the 40 series. 2 years ago, it was the 30 series, the 3080, the 3090, the 3070, the 3060. I think there is even a 3050. I don't know. But over the course of 2 years, we got all these 30 series cards. The 3090 Ti, the 3080 Ti, the 3070 Ti, and I think there's a 3060 Ti. Anyway, it's just a massive amount of cards. Graphics cards that go into your PC box. We have the 40 series now. We have the 4080 and the 4090. No TIs, no 4070s yet, no 4060s yet, no whatever else is going to go into the mix there. We don't have any of those. Those are going to come, but we don't have them yet. They haven't been announced. Not that it matters, because the prices are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. The prices are ridiculous. Now, I'm coming down. Let me see here. Going down here to where the story was. We got 4080s and 4090s. And hopefully they'll have it in here of what the other versions were, because I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. Okay, I don't. Let's see.
No, I'm seeing those numbers. Goodness.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
4 figures, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find the prices of the older ones, the 30 series. Mm-hmm. I was hoping this article might have those in there to say, oh, here's by comparisons what you got. The 3000 series. Yeah, the 3080s, whenever they announced them, had a sweet spot of like $700. Mm. That was a 3080, and it was like, oh, here it's going to be $699, and we're like, hey, that's a good. That's okay, sure. And the 3090 was going to be $999, I believe, but $1,000.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, that's fine. 3090 is strictly, honestly, for either somebody who is doing a whole lot of gaming, or just somebody who needs a lot of processes run, does a lot of video editing, does a lot of video rendering, things like this, just high profile stuff. You're gonna you have a job that requires you to spend $1,000 on a graphics card because you need it for that. If you're just buying it to play games, 3080 is fine.
Yeah,
the 3080 at $700 is completely fine. Mm-hmm. So whatever. Now the 40 series, the 4080 retails for $899, so $900 for their bottom base model.
Yeah.
It's got 12 gigs of RAM in it. The step above that has 16 gigs of RAM, it's still a 4080, but it has 16 gigs of RAM, is $1,200. Mm-hmm. And the 4090 that has 24 gigs of RAM and is the higher
Top tier.
Yeah, like your top tier until they do another one.
Yeah.
$1,600 for a card.
Yeah.
Ha! And they have said that these prices are not going down. He said that whoever the head of NVIDIA says is that, these are not...
take it or leave it.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah. This is it. This is where we're going from here. Mm-hmm. The next cards we make are going to have a higher base price than this. And at some point you hit a roof, right? Because you can't. Should. Yeah. You got to hit a roof. I don't know if this is the roof. I don't know if $900 is the roof for the base. Wow. I mean, I could talk to you about all the features that come with these new cards. What they have: the DLS, the RTX, the RTX. I can't remember what the other thing was called. RTX something that is exclusive to the 40 series. It's like a mod type thing for older games. Portal has it. They showed a quick little minute and a half trailer of Portal from, God, I don't know how many years ago that was. That was back in the 08s or the 07s.
Mm-hmm. The aughts.
Yeah, I mean the early 2000s, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And now they have an RTX mod for it. It looks really beautiful. It doesn't change the game; just looks beautiful. Mm-hmm. Doesn't change anything about how the game plays. You're not getting a new story out of this. You're just getting a better looking Portal. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay that it's exclusive. I get it. You put an incentive in there for people, but the incentive should be the price, not some sort of mod that makes older games look really good. Mm-hmm. $8.99, $11.99, and $15.99. Just ridiculous.
No, just say that right. It's $1,600, $1,200, $900.
I mean, it is just ridiculous.
And there's a problem we were talking about the last time. I said no one else can make a card lower than our price. It has to be.
That's the other thing. So this makes a lot more sense as to why EVGA got out of it. Because they're like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. We're going to have to sell our cards higher than what they're selling them for. Nobody's going to buy our stuff.
Exactly.
Because they're going to go straight to NVIDIA trying to get them. Now, NVIDIA's not going to be able to hang on to them. Those are going to go, out the window. They're going to completely be out of stock all the time. There is from what I understand, and I could be wrong, and feel free if anybody's listening and wants to jump in with a call or jump in with Discord or on chat or anything like that. From what I understand, the whole crypto mining thing with your graphics cards and stuff is pretty much over with. If I'm correct in that. Now, maybe I'm not. But I thought the whole crypto mining thing was a done deal. And it had been finished. And by the way, I only mean that as recently as maybe within the last month, if not weeks, that has been changed. Let's see. Prices aside, let me look at here. There's Keynote. You can read NVIDIA's official PR, has a useful roundup of known specs. Prices aside, everything sounds solid. Streamers and video folks have been clamoring for products with robust AV1 support. DLSS 3.0 sounds like it'll make a already very compelling DLSS 2.0 technology even better. There's now a ray-traced version of Portal. Despite rumors, RTX 4090 runs on less than 500 watts. Yay, good. Power consumption's down. Who cares? It's too costly. And NVIDIA is claiming across various benchmarks 2 times to even 3 times performance uplift over the last generation cards. Of course, you got to take those with a grain of salt because nobody's put those things through their paces yet. After 2 years of increasing performance stagnation, it's at least nice to see forward movement again. Those prices, though, They say that the 4080 12 gig should be a 4070, not giving it a 4080. Your 4080 should be your 16 gig card. Your 12 gig should be your 4070 card. And if that's the case, why is it $900? $1,200 for a 4080 16 gig, so $500 more than the last gen 3080. Which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But it's 16 gigs. Can't remember what had 16 gigs. My card has 12. My card has 12 gigs of RAM in it. Mm-hmm. Somebody else on Reddit said these prices are downright insulting. They're trying to sell you a 4070 rebranded as a 4080 for $900. One commenter looked back to 2018's GeForce 20 series to pinpoint why today's prices felt so exorbitant. The last two gens were already out of control, even at MSRP. For years, the 70, the 80, the 80 Ti, they were all the 70 was $329, the 80 was $499, and the Ti was $700. And the prosumer grade one, the Titan, the 49 or the 3090, those were all in the $1,200 range. With the 20 series, they bumped all of those prices up a tier, and it looks like they are doing it again. They're bumping them up a tier. Mm-hmm. Indeed, in 2018, NVIDIA attracted criticism for pricing its then RTX 20 series cards a full tier higher than the previous 10, what they had cost. For example, the 2070 cost almost as much as the prior high-end 1080. I know we're throwing out some weird words here. Just know that you're looking at the first number of the set that I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So if it's a 1080, then it is the 1. The 2080 is the 2 mm-hmm. version of that.
Right.
If I'm doing a 70 and it's an 80 or something like that, you're just going up from there. So just keep that in mind. A 2070 is better than a 1080 because it's up, even though it's lower.
The bigger the number, the better the card.
Right.
Allegedly.
Kind of hard to explain at some point, but yeah. There we go. The 3080 from 2 years ago.
Right.
The one that they announced, $700. That was it. Mm-hmm. Except they were hard to find, and crypto was going nuts with them. Mm-hmm. People think the 16 gig 4080 is the true successor to the 3080, and it's got an increase of $500. Now, the 12 gig RTX 4080 is at $900. The catch, unfortunately, is that it appears to be a significantly lower performing part, essentially a whole different card altogether. The lower end RTX 4080 uses a different laser die or lesser die than the 16 gig 4080. So yeah, that's a significant drop, and should still not be $900. Mm-hmm. And it's the same story across every spec. The 4080s, all this stuff. Yeah, it's not good. These prices will be even worse out of the States. NVIDIA Italy product pages listed the 4090. I have no idea. I can't relate to those. This says 1979, whatever Italy money is, 1479. I don't know what those prices translate into money for us, but yeah. Or in U.S. dollars. So I'm reading more of this article here. I mean, the reason I didn't read this article is just because it's talking about the price of the cards. I already know that the price of the cards are ridiculous. Now, these prices only cover NVIDIA's card releases. All these Founder Edition things. The AIBs, the add-in board, the third-party developers, the EVGA, which is not going to have one, the MSI, the Gigabyte, the Zotac, the Asus.
What was that money again? Lira to America? How much?
Do you have some? Do you have a converter?
I have a
up?
converter up. I'm going to see what this is.
Yeah. Let's see. 1979. Mm-hmm. That's the 4090. Mm-hmm. So what is that in U.S. dollars?
This thing's not even working.
Oh.
No, well.
All right, that's fine.
We'll figure it out there.
If you can.
Let's see. $1 US equals about 2,000 lira. 1997. Yeah.
Italy money to you.
Lira. But yeah.
That says euro. Anyway, is that the euro?
It says euro here, and there's lira here.
Let's see.
I will figure this out later. But bottom line is with this dollar amount, man, it's like there will be no undercutting. It's us or nothing. And anybody else coming up with something else has to, with that agreement we were talking about last time, they can't undersell it. They know they're not going to be able to sell it, especially these prices. But the only thing that make it drop is lack of sales.
Yeah.
And I don't see that being a problem in the short term. What's it going to be in the long term? I guess it depends on the buyer, how much of those graphics really mean to you. Could you still stay with your old tech and be fine with that?
Yeah.
with the new stuff on the market.
Let's see, 4080 name only. Of course, it's $899, $400. It's a lot of that. And again, we haven't talked about the other manufacturers like EVGA, like MSI. Those all around those are going to cost more. The price point. This is from an NVIDIA spokesperson. The price point of the RTX 4090 starts at $1,599. In comparison, the launch price of the 3090 Ti, which the 4090 now replaces, was $1,999. I don't know about that. The 4080 16 gig is 3 times the performance of the 3080 Ti on next-gen content. This is according to NVIDIA. This is the ones for the same price of $1,199. And the 4080 12 gig is $899, 3 times the performance of the 3080 12 gig for $100 less. Yeah, that's one way to look at it, is that last line implies NVIDIA's new cards will actually be competing with its 2-year-old 30 series products, which the company is widely rumored to have a large surplus of now that the crypto mining craze has subsided. Only as of recently, after 2 years of outrageous inflated scarcity-induced pricing, can you easily buy a 3000 series card for close to MSRP. With 3080 still starting at a steep $700, it's hard to imagine a scenario in which NVIDIA would willingly price the 4000 series cards anywhere closer to that price. So NVIDIA has its viewpoints, but viewing the events from the consumer side, it really feels like the cost of enthusiast PC gaming are continuing to skyrocket, and at a time when the cost of just about everything else is too. I hope there's some sort of relief on the horizon because, as one Redditor put it, I love PC gaming, but I can't afford to be a part of it anymore. Yeah, I know. Whew. Yeah, I'm reading some comments here. It's just, yeah, ray tracing is kind of a thing. The putting in ray tracing on the cards. I was never concerned. It took me forever to upgrade, obviously because I was looking for a card and it was hard to find. But I was running. Oh, what was I running when it died? It was a 970 Ti, 980 Ti. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was.
It was that card that was it may have been outdated, but the thing was still running like a champ.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, so
totally. I bought it in 2015 or 2016 for The Witcher 3 and for Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
bought it for that, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it served me well for a good while. Yeah. And then these new cards came out. And I'm going to try and get those, but we had the scalpers, the Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it was just hard to get a hold of one.
So hold what you got.
Yeah,
because it was still working fine.
Really hard to get a hold of one that they were just selling out and you couldn't get them. So
by the way, $1,926 converted for that Italy price.
Okay, wow, $2,000.
Pretty much.
What was the price of the other one? What was the price in U.S. dollars for it?
1,926.
Is it nine? So wait, is 926? Oh wait,
1,926.
Yeah. No, it's $1,600, and in Italy it's 2,000. Okay.
2,000, yeah.
Yep.
Jeez, man. Sticker shock.
It's
it'll force you to wait unless you got some disposable income. You don't mind shelling out.
That is some disposable income, man.
Yeah,
$2,000.
Some folks got it. So hey, it won't mean a thing to them. But yeah, generally, I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah,
it's not exactly gonna be may not exactly be flying off the shelves unless they plan to put it on, like you said, the scalpers or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm curious now. See, I've got an EVGA card that is a 3080 12 gig card. And I'm curious. I doubt it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, EVGA's not collecting or not making any more. This card's going to sell for more. I don't think so. In some ways that works for some products. I don't think it works for this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just don't, because it's some brand. It's a third party brand. And the card is not going to increase in price as technology moves forward. I don't know how much a working original iPhone is right now. Like the first iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
But, as a tech thing, I don't think it increases in price since tech moves away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can go into any kind of a retro gaming place and pick up an old system for a pretty cheap price.
Yeah.
That stuff did not become a collector's item in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if it's autographed by somebody, or if it was a special edition version of it, or if there's a mistake on the box or in the system itself, or whatever it may be, some kind of defect that was done at the manufacturer level and got out to the consumer. I don't know, but it's I just don't see that card. I don't necessarily see it dropping in price anytime soon, but I just don't see it going up. Outside of another crypto burn where these cards get snatched up and people are willing to just, I'll take a 3080, I'll take a 48, I'll take whatever you got.
I mean, it's just going to be an issue of supply and demand, I'm thinking. I mean, if someone's looking to upgrade significantly, I mean, it just won't be that 40 series. It's going to be something lower tier.
Yeah.
Whatever's available, the best available. That's not that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is what NVIDIA had said when everybody was talking about the prices. Mm-hmm. Moore's Law is dead, is what NVIDIA said. A 12-inch wafer is a lot more expensive today. The idea that the chip is going to go down in price is a story of the past. That said, NVIDIA has had plenty to boast about with the 40 series range. They are the first GPUs from the company's 40 series and should be up to twice as fast as their last-gen counterparts, and up to 4 times as fast in ray trace games. Let's see. They're a fantastic value, blah, blah, blah. However, we know that they're incredible and will continue to offer it. So, yeah. They said that it's not going to change, but I feel like it has to. I feel like you have to hit a cap, right?
I'm sorry. I was looking at the article. I saw 2100 in Japan retail.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. I don't know what that translates to. Or is that
2100 US?
Oh, it's $2,100.
In Japan, it would be the equivalent of 2100 US.
Is that the one is that the $1,600 one?
4090.
Yeah. Okay. The 4090. Yeah. Okay.
Those were considered scalping prices less than a year ago.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh man, the scalpers had a heyday with that 30 series, man.
Yeah.
Gonna be hard to scalp these though.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, you got to buy them.
Yeah.
And then secondly, you got to sell them, and I just don't know how easy it's going to be to
the default price.
offload them.
The default price ain't
right?
too appealing now, so I don't know how you're going to scalp it.
Exactly. I just, man, that's an expensive card. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I got my 3080 when I did. Although, honestly, I think, you can still get 3080s out there now, and you're fine. They're going to continue to sell them, and they're going to continue to be an option. And those cards, whatever the 4090s are out there doing right now, or the 40 series that they're doing, which I don't think doesn't release until like October. Mm-hmm. Which October's what, Saturday, a week from today.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of scary music,
next week.
We kick off a month long of Halloween video game music for each weekend.
Yeah,
so
we'll go through the archives and see what we got.
Man. It's going to be great. Yeah, Rapscallion. Now you can play in 8K on your 8K monitor that you definitely own. I don't. Exactly. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It is just.
That's what I said earlier, man. I mean, is it worth getting right now? I mean, with what you've got right now, it's working fine. Do you really want to spend that money to upgrade like that?
Our only hope is AMD, who is NVIDIA's competitor. Mm-hmm. Team Red versus Team Green. And if Team Red can come out and be on par with whatever NVIDIA's doing, but come in at a much lower price, then yeah, they're gonna be your saviors on this one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a disadvantage of being first because your competitor can see see the crowd reaction. I mean,
It
consumer
is.
reaction is, and the mistakes you're making.
Yeah.
And they can capitalize on that.
There is a benefit of going second in this regard. However, a lot of the things that NVIDIA offers in there, the RTX or the DLSS or I don't know, whatever, there's a lot of things that are proprietary to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
It's like you can only get this with our card. You can only do this with our cards. I don't think people are going to care because the price. This is a situation where your price is going to win your war, not your specs, because they've already fired the first shot with like, here's what if their cards could do it and they were at a price that was comparative, like $700, $900, that sort of thing for the upper tier, whatever the case may be, had some more comparative pricing, especially given last year's card. Basically, do what sometimes the phones do. Release it at the current price of whatever your phones are, and then take your last gen phones and knock them down a little bit on your price. So this replaces it in the price range, but it doesn't affect the price going up. But NVIDIA already fired that shot and said this is what it's going to cost. And so if AMD can come out and say, oh well, then we're going to. And I mean, they need to go lower, it's significantly lower.
And the video you said in the article, they said that it ain't moving. This is the price, and we're sticking with it. So, okay,
I know.
All right,
I know. Which makes me wonder what AMD is going to do, because if NVIDIA is saying this is the price of chips, then I'm curious if AMD is going to say, well, we're just going to have to take a loss on each card we sell until we get up there, or our prices are going to be the same. It gives AMD I have no idea how they look at it, but it puts them in a position to either match the prices if they want to, or really be,
or they can stick it to NVIDIA.
Really be a competitor here and go under.
Yeah.
I think those cards get announced. Yeah. November 3rd is what I've got. Their RDNA 3 graphics cards will be announced on November 3rd. Let me see if there's anything in here about that whole situation with the comparison. Nope. Nothing in there. But everybody's waiting for that. And I'll tell you right now, it's not going to matter at all when they're watching that presentation as to what the cards can do. No one will care.
Yeah.
They are waiting for one thing only out of that, and it's the price.
Are you lower than NVIDIA? That's it. Right.
That is all they're looking for. So we'll have to find out on November 3rd with everybody else. But it is. Thar 66 has a great chance to make them cheaper. I know. There is.
Yeah.
There's that wonderful moment that we had at an E3 when Microsoft said, here's our new box. It's going to cost you $500. And Sony said, well, here's our new box. It's going to cost you $100 less. And that's all it took. It was $499 and $399. While you can say it's $500 and $400, and that's $100 difference, but a $399 and a $4 and a whatever it was just was like, that's better.
Yeah, it's similar to the that whole Madden and 2K Sports situation that I was talking about. That was a significant drop off price wise, because EA had their Madden. Was it 2005 come out at $60, and then 2K put out this a game of equal, or some would say better quality, for $20. So you know which one flew off the shelves and who took a loss, who didn't make their projected sales for their product. Yeah,
cards are a little bit different than consoles. Consoles are where mom and dad walk into the store with the kid and it's like, this is what I want for Christmas, or this is the one I want, that sort of thing. A lot of kids don't walk in there to a store and say, get me that card so I can put it in my computer type of thing. It's not one of those, flying off the shelves at Christmas time type Wii U situations.
Yeah.
It really never has been. Obviously it did because of the crypto, but it really never has been a situation like that. But every PC gamer is going to be looking at AMD's price, and that's all they really care about. They know that the performance will be, neck and neck a little bit, whatever. They can worry about that later.
Yeah.
They just need to know what's the price of your new cards?
Yeah.
Compared to what's the price of their new cards?
Don't want to compare price and performance right now. So,
Yes, the performance stuff will come
later, but they want to compare price and performance. I'm not
Right.
getting as much bang for my buck.
And whatever that price is will tell you how much they care about the performance.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's on par with NVIDIA, then it's like, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if it is just a little bit lower, like if it's just $100 lower,
Yeah.
then okay, well, let's see how they stack up performance-wise.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like $300 lower, if it's going for $700, then yeah, okay, that's
I'm gonna look a little harder at you now. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I may not care. I may say, okay, because these are going to be better than their previous card. Their previous card matched up to the 3080s or the 30 series from NVIDIA pretty well. Mm-hmm. There really wasn't much difference. It was your preference which way you wanted to go. It was also your preference of which one's in stock right now if you really need it.
Yeah.
So go with whatever works. So we'll see. November 3rd is a long time to wait, but it'll be here before you know it. To be honest with you, and then we'll know. We'll have more to say on the subject at that time. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive into what we've played. And we hit the top of the hour at 8. When we hit the top of the hour,
not the morning show.
I don't know why. Hit the top of the hour at 5. That whole segment, we'll talk to you about GTA 6. Maybe you've seen it. It's been out there for you to look at. This is music from a game that just came out this week. Hasn't really gotten too good of reviews. I don't know much about it, but I keep seeing it pop up saying, a lot of promise. Oh, man. Did you see any of that footage of Scorn?
I think I saw the.
You probably saw a trailer for it a while.
Yeah, a little bit of a title screen.
Looks all
like that,
Geiger-esque from Alien and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that too, only just briefly because, well, I'll tell you why. This is a game called the Diablo Chronicles, and it's the main theme from that game. The reviews are kind of meh. Not bad, but they ain't great either.
Middle of the road average.
Yeah, and I don't really even know what it's about. I have no idea if it's a first-person shooter, if it's a puzzler, if it's not. I don't think it's a racer. But Diablo Chronicle. Anyway, we'll be back with more of in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Destiny 2 called Captains and Cutthroats. The whole season's pirate theme, so I was curious as to what the pirate music sounds like. This all plays in-game, but I have music turned down a lot. I remember when I was talking to you, when we were doing chatting through the game or whatever, the music or something was just coming in far too loud for me to hear you. So I had to drop all the background noise so that you would stand out over all of it. So I've had to do that a few times, actually. Keep the music low, really. And some of the sound effects, too, because it just overpowers my voice chat whenever I'm on Discord and stuff like that. So. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Let's jump into some news of the week before we get into our big leak situation. Speaking of the leak situation, same day, well, the day after. So I woke up Sunday and I was going to post the show. And I go to post on Twitter and I see these clips of like GTA. And I was like, well, sure, whatever. I really didn't believe it. I even watched one and I was like, that doesn't look like GTA at all. And so I moved on with my day. And then on Monday, I see, massive GTA leak. Yeah. Not only on Monday I see that, but I also see that Diablo has leaked. Diablo 4, anyway. So let's see. A full 43 minutes of unfinished Diablo 4 was leaked, was thrown out there. This is from a friends and family alpha test that it was going on about last month. Never mind. Footage from the ongoing friends and family alpha test previously appeared last month, but not anything this comprehensive. It's footage, as revealed on Reddit, of exactly what you'd expect Diablo 4 to look like. It's an ultra-wide with a very neat, minimized UI in the bottom center, a compact map and quest list in the top right, and then the rest of the screen is a character running around in the dark. It's definitely not helped that the screen... I have not looked at any of these leaks, by the way. That the screen is almost more watermarked than it is footage, but behind all that, you can make out some brand new features that look pretty neat. There's climbing, there's jumping across gaps, there's loads more detail in the textures that are in place. It looks exactly like what anyone would want, which is just more Diablo. So, let's see. It shows a game with a lot more verticality than we've seen from the series before. Caves feel far more three-dimensional, not restricted to levels when going up and down. That's interesting. It's a fascinating insight into an in-development build. However, this is certainly a lot later in development than GTA 6 is, the game due at some point next year. It's rather charming to see the bright green boardwalks and hear it played with stilted AI voiceover placeholder dialogue. The worst aspect about this leak is how poor the streaming quality is. There are some mission spoilers that are shown off. It's a spectacularly stupid leak as it happens. Whoever decided to stream this to friends didn't carefully vet whoever was watching and did so playing a heavily watermarked build covered with private test build and then a unique number, which is to say there's not really going to be any kind of a mystery as to who this came from. So, yeah. The larger problem, presumably, is how it can effectively run a private alpha test if leaks like this are to be prolific and extensive. These are very different times in which to be making a video game compared to Diablo 3 in 2012. It'll be very interesting to see how developers respond with future alpha and beta tests. See, a comment here says, what's weird is that for so many people, the actual gameplay and mechanics aren't going to decide whether this will be a buy. That's partially true. It's Diablo 4. They know what to expect. They're going to buy it. The real question is going to be how this ends up getting monetized, because if there's even a hint of gameplay mechanics like gear upgrades or skills getting monetized, this game will get slammed. I don't know, because this is a Microsoft property now, isn't it? Yeah. Diablo, when it gets released, I guess, is going to be on Game Pass on console whenever it gets there. Otherwise, it'll be on Game Pass on PC. I don't know if they're going to try and monetize it or not. But that's going to be Microsoft's say on that. Activision, I'd expect it. Microsoft, I don't know. And I guess I'm still kind of expecting it because technically this purchase hasn't actually gone through yet. But I feel like by the time this gets released, it will be, because I think Diablo 4 is due next year sometime. So I just feel like it's gonna end up being that way. But we'll see. It was a big week for leaks.
Yeah.
For some high, I mean, sure, leak a little bit here and there, but we haven't even gone into the GTA 6 leak. And if you don't know anything about that, then stick around, because that is just a fascinating. First off, it's fascinating by how much was leaked. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating by what's being done because of the leak. It's fascinating because of how it got out there. It's fascinating to see the blowback. I say the blowback, but I guess the support that the Rockstar devs got from other developers, saying like, "Oh no, here, don't worry about it. Here's what our game looks like at this current point," sort of thing, where they're sharing early game development on things. Of like, here's why none of this matters. If people are saying it looks like whatever, this is, I don't know what it's like when what you've been working on gets shown to the public before it's finished. I guess it could be in a sense of when you're drawing a portrait or something, or you're painting something and you're not done. So it's like, hey, it's not finished. I want to show it to you. It's not done. I'll show it to you when it's finished. Yeah. I don't want you to see it as a work in progress. I want you to see it as it is finished. Unless, of course,
then some folks are cool with making a work in progress.
Well, I was going to say, unless, of course, you're Bob Ross, and watching the work in progress is just as fascinating as seeing the end result. Especially when he messes it up, but he actually never messes it up. He never has. I mean, he calls them happy accidents or whatever they are. Happy little trees, little happy accidents.
Yeah, I was thinking of more of Henry Rollins in one of his spoken word things. He said, "Nothing goes wrong up here. It's your job as a performer when something does go wrong, you make it look like you never mess up."
Yeah, see, we don't take that rule here. If something goes wrong here, we highlight it with a big magic marker and underline it and everything else. We point right directly to it, like, "Oh, I forgot to do the clap thing," or "I'm not plugged into the internet," or some stupid thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Return to Monkey Island was released. And, well, I thought this was going to be a nice little review roundup of other people's thoughts on it. But that's not what I opened up here. I thought it was kind of like a Metacritic thing. Critics are praising the return to the long-absent adventure game franchise with return. Yeah, it's gotten really good reviews. Metacritic rating at the time of this article was 89 based on 29 critic reviews. Critics calling it a brave and refreshing adventure game about confronting your own legacy. It answers difficult metatextual questions with surprisingly moving answers, all the while delivering everything that fans might expect from such a coveted sequel. Let's see. Rock Paper Shotgun says, the people and locations all look fantastic in the new art style, which is vibrant and lovely, capturing the spirit of the earlier games, but in a storybook style that is extremely fitting for this new adventure. It's hard to believe that this wasn't always how Monkey Island looked, to be honest, and there are great extra animations in the fore and background that brings everything alive. Another article said, once you see the new animated picture book aesthetic in motion, it really does work to capture Monkey Island's equal parts charming and zany vibe. It is a series known for its surreal humor and wacky characters, from recurring ones to the new members. The art director brings them all to life brilliantly. It's also the first of many signs that this isn't a sequel that will go the way many people expect, or that people may expect. So, yeah. Another review says it makes for a more engrossing experience in which the UI is really in service of the story rather than taking center stage. As is much more common in this genre, it's a welcome refinement, though I do miss forcing the main character to describe how a lamp sounds or explain why he can't talk to a tree. All right, cool. Well, we're about to hit the top of the hour, and I wanted to get into Saints Row as well, which we might before we're done. But coming up next, it's GTA 6 and all its leakiness that we're going to be talking about. Here's a track from a game called You Suck at Parking. It's a puzzle game, sort of. Basically, your car continues to move, and when you stop, that's the end of your run.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, your car has to get from one point to the parking space, and if you stop before you get there, then that's it. The run's over. So basically, it's just go and try and hook, try and drift and slide or whatever, and make sure you stop within the parking space, no matter all the obstacles that you have to go through. And there's some stupid obstacles like swinging axes and jump pads and things like this. So
I was thinking more like pedestrians and potholes and things of that
there
nature.
may be those as well. It doesn't look like there's any pedestrians that you have to worry about. Maybe some potholes here. I want to say it's from Tiny Build. It's those guys. And it's a little puzzle game called You Suck at Parking. Here's music from that. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat coming up. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from Solstice. The track is called The Solstice of Souls. That sounded stupid. Bloodborne with the blood of the born.
What?
Born in blood with bloodborne, the blood of the born.
Actually, I think that's a line from the intro. Made from the blood, born of the blood, something of the blood. Something to do with blood.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I could throw Bloodborne into their Halloween music thing.
Yeah.
I could throw that in there. It's got little bits of horror to it.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of gothic tunes to that game.
Oh yeah. No.
Matter of fact, it's just one of them titles that I need to finish. I'd never finished the DLC that I got for it.
Oh, the DLC. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of hit and miss with the dungeons or whatnot, but I don't think I ever really got into that. It's just a DLC I was more interested in to play.
Oh boy. So, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but Sunday when I went to go post the show, I posted on our website. YouTube goes up. iTunes, of course, gets it. But so I post it to YouTube. I post it to our website. I post it to Facebook, and I post it to Twitter. Mm-hmm. It was Twitter where I came across videos talking about GTA 6. And I thought there were meme type videos where it was just sort of like, here's what GTA 6 shooting is going to look like. And I thought, because something like that. And I was watching some dude shoot, and I just thought, I don't know what this, obviously I'm missing the joke. So I'm just going to post the show post and go about my day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was other things that happened on Sunday that kind of distracted me from that. I didn't tell you about that. We had a small fire outside, and I'll show you pictures of that. It could have gotten very, very bad. It did not, but it could have gotten very, very bad. The outside of the house has soot marks now from where this fire happened. So it was a little scary moment Saturday around 9:30, 10 a.m. Somewhere around there. Kind of a little scary moment we had, and a whole lot of smoke and just ugh. Anyway. I didn't think anything of it with the GTA 6 thing. I thought I was missing out on a joke. But, yeah, here's the thing. On September 19th, a user on GTA forums posted 90 videos of a test build of Grand Theft Auto 6 running with GTA 5 and 6 source codes and assets. Screenshots and clips from these videos made it around YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, elsewhere. They line up with the details from another recent GTA 6 leak, as well as an earlier one, both of which suggested the upcoming open-world game will have two protagonists, a man and a woman, and they will be set in and around, and obviously spoilers here, but whatever. Yeah. It's going to be set in Vice City. Or at least a Miami-esque
Vice
City,
type of thing. Yeah.
The legitimacy of the videos has been confirmed by Rockstar because they released a statement saying an unauthorized third-party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. Take-Two has been using copyright rules to get the videos taken down from any mainstream websites that host them, but as you know, once it's on the internet, it's there forever.
It's there forever, yeah.
In one video, a player character named Lucia robs a waffle restaurant with an accomplice named Jason, taking hostages like they're in Pulp Fiction. A meter counts down time until cops dispatched, and it all looks reminiscent of the robberies in Red Dead 2, in spite of the mannequin NPCs clipping through objects, placeholder dialogue text, a cop car that's been recycled from GTA 5 only with VCPD written on it. In a poolside conversation between a male character and a couple of redneck associates, we hear some very GTA dialogue. The notification saying, "What up?" message received during a sequence at a strip club suggests a parody of WhatsApp, another very Rockstar thing to do, as does setting entire scenes in a strip club complete with detailed pole dancing. Yeah, it sounds very GTA. The previous GTA 6 leak claimed the game had been in development since 2014 and was originally codenamed Project Americas. These files, which have the word Americas in their names and some of which show a version running on a PlayStation 4 dev kit, may well be several years old. A source with knowledge of GTA 6's development told PC Gamer that the majority of the videos would likely have been attached to bug reports from QA testers. The person apparently responsible for this information heist has also claimed responsibility for hacking Uber, the rideshare place. Yep. The FBI is currently investigating this. That was earlier this week. The effects of this weekend's leaks are going to be long-lasting, but the immediate aftermath is already amusing enough to chronicle. As you might expect, Take-Two is launching into a full-on Streisand maneuver and trying to DMCA any and all footage from the leak. That's the whole Streisand effect. When you try to block people from seeing it, it only makes them want to see it more. And they will do whatever it puts more of a, I don't want to say more of a target, but it basically takes something that could be a small thing, and because you're trying to keep people from seeing it, it becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
Because it attracts more attention to it.
It's a typical thing. It's like when Bomber Games made Streets of Rage remake, Sega didn't think anything of it until it got huge, and everyone started downloading it left and right. And then Sega put that cease and desist order in there, and as soon as news of that got out, more people got interested in that and tried to figure out why Sega would do this. And then the downloads got bigger and bigger and bigger. The more you try to keep something away from someone, the more they're going to look for it. You brought interest to it now.
That's exactly right. Let's see. The screen went away. There we go. just in case somebody jumps into Discord and I can't. I'm not there to see it. Yep. So anyway, let's see. At the same time, the source code for GTA 5 appears to be being offered for sale, while the origin of the leak is playing whack-a-mole against himself. And just this minute, Rockstar have confirmed that the leak is real and talked about that. Let's see. They continue directly responding to a great deal of speculation that leaks like this can significantly delay a game's process. We do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. Rockstar adds that it is extremely disappointed about the leak and that they will properly introduce us to the game when it is ready. Already, a number of the videos yesterday have vanished from Twitter and YouTube in a move that previously removed any doubt about the validity of the footage. You don't issue DMCA takedowns for videos that aren't your property. In doing so, the videos will, of course, keep popping up elsewhere, and trying to control it is always futile. Other people are, upload an alleged conversation with one of these people from someone pretending to work for Rockstar shows the leaker claiming to have the source code for both games and saying, "Tell me your price." So, somebody tweeted some, let's see. I need to confirm you are indeed from Take-Two and not an impersonator. I am a developer for GTA 6. You put everyone here in so much stress. We put so much work into this. If Rockstar contacts me with an offer, it won't be leaked. I can speak to my boss. Where you would you like my boss to, and also what? Okay. Yeah, apparently they were talking to somebody. Mm-hmm. The GTA 6 subreddit was closed for a while moderators stripped it of content of the leaks, presumably after lawyers came knocking. The subreddit's now open again, but with strict instructions that none of the links, video or images, be included in any post. Done so to protect the subreddit from getting obliterated by Rockstar Games. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. I'm just looking through this stuff. Yeah. What next do we have? What we learned and what we didn't from the GTA 6 leak. This is from PC Gamer. While the footage gives answers to a few of the questions we've had for years, the clips appear to largely be made for the purpose of bug reports or animation tests. It's not like a reveal trailer leaked early or it's 90 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay. There are some interesting tidbits, but the footage doesn't really shed a lot of new light on the game or answer the biggest questions we have. Honestly, that's probably a good thing. We're definitely curious, but we don't want the whole thing spoiled before it comes out. Here are a few interesting details we learned about GTA 6 from the leaks, along with the burning questions we still have. They've got two main characters, Lucia and Jason. They can complete a mission together. You can play as one or the other, apparently. Another clip shows the player switching between the two characters where they're both in a hotel room, with the swapping taking place just about instantaneously, rather than the method in GTA 5 where the camera lifts up into the sky before returning back down to ground level while character swapping. Their ages are hard to guess. Both look relatively young. What we still don't know, while most of the footage shows either of them, we still know very little about them. We see them walking around, opening doors, using weapons and cover, even throwing a few punches, but there's only a few scenes that are more extensive, like one where they walk through a nightclub or talk to another character. We have no real sense of who these people are as characters. We don't know their stories. We don't know their histories. We have no idea. We just know that they're the main characters.
Yeah, someone made the guess that it was going to be some Bonnie and Clyde like thing going on here.
GTA 6 is set in Vice City. This longtime rumor looks like it's finally definitely been confirmed. One of the leaked clips shows a light rail car with Vice City Metro painted on the side as Jason walks onto the train and then exits it. In the original Grand Theft Auto Vice City was a stand-in for Miami, so we're headed back to Florida for GTA 6. Games have reused locations, Liberty City, San Andreas, Los Santos. They've all done this. It's not really that big of a deal. Apart from confirming that Vice City is real, the footage does not show us all that much of it other than some mostly generic-looking locations like city streets and a few building interiors. Only once is a small portion of the map is shown, so we don't know how far outside of Vice City the world roams. Let's see. GTA 6 isn't set in the 80s or 90s. Several clips from the leak show pedestrians holding smartphones, with one appearing to take a selfie. So that gives you an idea of, it's not really set in the past. In one short clip, we see a character on the ground in the prone position, and they don't just lie there, they begin to crawl. Even more interesting, as the character crawls through a doorway, they encounter a small box, and they push it aside with their hand to clear the way. It's kind of cool to see. In GTA 5, you can't go prone at all unless you're using a mod. And the fact that you can belly crawl and even move objects out of the way while crawling could hint at some new stealth systems in GTA 6. So, there you go.
I don't know if it's anything like the previous GTAs. I mean, no matter what position you're in, you're getting hit regardless. Yeah. I mean, some of those accurate shots in the game came from the AI.
Yeah.
So.
Finally, yesterday, there is word that apparently this person's been caught over in London, Oxfordshire. Mm-hmm. A 17-year-old was arrested in Oxfordshire yesterday. This was published yesterday, so this would have been Thursday. A 17-year-old was arrested in Oxfordshire yesterday due to the suspicions of hacking. According to sources who spoke to him, they were allegedly involved in the GTA 6 hack that resulted in a major information leak last weekend. They're also connected to a prior hack on Uber. The source also claims that the arrest was made by London City Police in collaboration with the FBI. That is, from what I understand, that is not confirmed. It's heavily speculated that this is the guy who did it. Mm-hmm. But they haven't made any statement saying that that's the case. Mm-hmm. But that's...
Yeah, because I see things about impersonators or whatnot in some articles as well.
Huh. As of right now, no further details have been released by police or other agencies regarding the arrest, so we'll have to wait and see whether this alleged hacker was indeed the culprit behind the GTA 6 leak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have actual confirmation that's the case. It's very likely that this is it, but we actually don't have confirmation on that. So, anyway, there you go. Leak City. All over the place. And we have a phone call. Hi, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
It's me, Chris, again.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Not much. Talking about GTA 6 and the leakage going on there last weekend. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, I heard about that, but, I'll probably eventually check into it or, get the game down the road. I like GTA 5 a little bit, but, I just got into it a little bit, but...
Yeah. It's, I think it's kind of, in leaks like this, see, this is too early. This is not the kind of leak I want to see. Mm-hmm. I already know the game's being made. Mm-hmm. I don't need to see what the game's going to look like. Now, if somebody had leaked, like, oh, here's the trailer for it, when you leak a trailer and it's all handy-cammed and whatever, cell phoned and shaky and janky or whatever else, that really feels like I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to. This stuff looked like, a coder would look at this and get a wealth of information. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm just seeing bug reports, or I'm just seeing something that's just boring to look at, really.
Yeah.
And somebody in development of games and stuff sees a lot more in this than I do. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that's a case for it or whatever, but it doesn't bother me.
Somebody like compared to Neo from the Matrix.
Do what now?
Like you're talking about the programmers and stuff that actually in the business.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. People who develop games, they look at this and they can read all sorts of stuff from it, and they can see exactly what's going on. And probably even people who are just amateur game developers can probably look at this and get a lot of information out of it and see what's going on. Is it information that is going to have any effect on Rockstar? I don't think so. No. I think it's just something that they'll look at and say, oh, okay, they're running whatever it is.
Except people trying to distribute the code to folks for
now the source code. Having the code is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So if they've got the code, that's a little bit different. But apparently Rockstar's not worried about that. They're like, what are we going to do? Change our code in the middle of all this? We've been working on this game apparently since 2014. We're not going to stop. It's not like we got to go back to the drawing board now that it's been leaked and change everything up. There's no way they can do that. They just have to accept what's happened and blow us away when they do reveal the trailer and say, yeah, you thought you were seeing a lot with the leaks. No, this is what you're getting. And something that's just amazing. So. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, what you been playing, man? Anything cool?
Same thing like you. Been playing Phantasy Star Online too, still.
Yeah.
Hey, RJ, any of y'all the fans or the fans of the Dragon Quest series?
Yeah.
A few of my friends are. I haven't gotten into it myself, but I think I know some folks who talked about that game before.
Well, anyway, I found out that Crunchyroll and maybe some other streaming services out there, there's a 2020 Japanese anime based on that with the title, Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, D-A-I. It's supposedly a remake from the same series that they released in the 90s. It's got 95 episodes to the whole series, but I'm hooked big time, and the story flows very fast. There's major boss battles, major spoilers, and like major fight scenes, like within the 5th episode. And I'm thinking, whoa, this is going to be great. And I can't get enough of it. But any other fans listening out there, it's in Japanese with English subtitles. But Dragon Quest fans will absolutely love this.
Yeah, I mean, not over 90 episodes, and you say it moves fast.
Oh yeah,
goodness.
Yeah, it's very fast moving. It doesn't take its time. It jumps around, but I've watched 5 or 6, 7 episodes and at night, and I'm on like around in the about halfway in about the 30s or almost 40, I think now. But
yeah, see, when I hear someone a series get to close to triple digits, I'm thinking, man, that's got to be a lot of filler thrown in there some way. But
no, this is no filler whatsoever. I mean, it gets straight to the point.
Oh, that's rare. I don't see that much. I don't see that often. But yeah. If anybody knows about it, like I said, some friends of mine who know about it, they should know. I'll let them know about it. Dragon Quest. Okay.
Yeah, I've been loving it, and I've also recently found on Amazon somebody from that makes these replacement cases for like the old PlayStation 1, the big boxes like Sega CD and Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
And I found one that's like they're about $7 or $8 a piece before the taxes and shipping and all, and I ended up buying 20 of them, and they're about they're right the same size, but it seems like every now and then some of the back inserts from certain games are a little bit too long. You end up having the length of them is slightly shorter in these replacement cases, which makes the edges of the pieces buckle up around the sides.
Yeah.
Which basically I just had one of those razor blade trimmers, that you can line up and carefully trim, the bottom or the top, and I just took about the thickness of your fingernail off the bottom of it, which fits it. But
yeah, I think about one of those paper cutters or something like that. Yeah, I mean, the only thing about those Sega CD cases, because I got a few of them, and it never failed. It didn't take long for that hinge at the top to crack or break or something to make it break off. And the only thing keeping it together is that one hinge at the bottom or the one hinge at the top. So hopefully, do you feel these cases are more durable than the originals?
Well, I mean, I can't tell no difference. I'm saying they'll probably be just as durable, but at least there's another option where you don't have to go out and buy a $15, $20 game that looks pretty decent. But I can't tell a difference. They look exactly the same, but they may be just a little bit smaller on the length of it. It's so close that you really can't tell right now. They couldn't get it exact, but I say it's 99.9% accurate to the original one.
Yeah, dimension-wise, but durability, I'd say break out, have a bottle of super glue ready just in case with that thing.
Oh yeah, but since I found a good source for replacement cases, I donated the rest of them to Tim at the game store in Prattville, Retro Game Planet, and said, here, have at them, and if you can use them in the future, here's the old ones that I took out, so here you go.
Yeah. Good deal, man.
All right, Chris, well, good hearing from you, man. We got to take a break.
All right, we'll see y'all later then.
Talk to you later, buddy.
All right, bye.
Yeah, we got to go. When we come back, we will hit up the rest of the news. We'll talk about what we've been playing, or at least we'll talk about what RJ's been playing. You know what my routine is at this point. And, we'll have more on the way. Here is music from a game called, Isonzo? Isonzo. It is a war game. It's a World War II game. I think it's World War II. Might be World War I. Anyway, you play as Italian military forces. Isonzo. Anyway, it's the main menu music. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. I don't think Matt's listening, but this is the theme to Return to Monkey Island. Which came out on Monday, which was Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, going over what we've been playing, I played Destiny 2. That's it. I am close to hitting the pinnacle level cap. I need a helmet, and I need a heavy weapon. That's it. Everything else is up there. I just need those two things, and I've hit my cap. Mm-hmm. And they just will not fall for anything. I keep playing the things that give me the upper level stuff, and I can't get a helmet to fall, and I can't get a heavy weapon to fall. Of course, I got the raid tonight, and maybe it'll fall there, but that's it.
Yeah, so. You're gonna get a whole bunch of other stuff where you get things that you want. That's how it always goes in the grind. I mean, I've yet to know anyone who got all the things they wanted back to back in these type of games. So yeah,
I know.
Just keep playing.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just keep swimming. Mm-hmm. What have you been playing?
More Elden Ring, trying to get some more progress done on my alternate characters. I'm at the end of my third character. I'm at the final boss battle. But unfortunately, before I can go in there, I have to pick up all the little things that I can before starting New Game Plus.
Right.
Pick up all the talismans I can. Pick up all the ingredients for the Mystic.
So you haven't started a New Game Plus yet? I thought you did.
I've started a New Game Plus with my main character, but I got to beat the game with my 3 alts.
Okay.
Before I want to get too deep into it. I remember there was some debates and some pages I follow on social media talking about the use of shields in the game. Because if you ever played Elden Ring and you see the images of the people running around, you see none of them. A lot of them don't have shields. They usually just are dual wielding some type of weapon of some sort. So I know just what I'm used to. I'm always carrying a shield, but I'm getting used to the idea of not carrying one because there was a weapon. I think I talked about it before. There's a certain weapon that I have on my strength build who if you block with a weapon, it stops 80% physical damage. And there's some shields in there that don't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could put a spell on that constantly builds health, or a talisman that builds health, I can deal with having a weapon that can dish out damage, because it's my most powerful weapon. I've grinded it up to max stats.
Yeah.
But if I can handle it blocking 80% physical damage, I can have spells or whatever that can counteract that, and I can go around without a shield. And it really helps me with not having to hamper my equipment load.
Mm-hmm.
I can go around a lot lighter and faster, and having a strength-based character with very little weight on them, that'd be a pretty awesome thing to have, because you have power and speed, which you'd love to go through a whole bunch of stuff through that game. And outside of that, I haven't played much anything else, but there was an issue I was having with my console. And
oh yeah,
I'm thinking about getting a full-out cleaning, a full-out dusting of it.
Oh, okay.
But man, I looked at the video. Did some research on some videos for that. Man, the amount of screws and things you have to keep up with and take out and put this here and put that there. And
for your PlayStation 4?
For the PlayStation 4, yeah. And probably going to have to get some Arctic Silver. I mean, if you're going to have to take the thing apart fully like that, I may as well go full out, get a couple of compressed air cans and a tube of Arctic Silver, and go full out and put that thing, clean that thing out completely.
You know, if you're going to do a teardown like that, you might as well do a teardown where you're going to improve it or protect it better. Yeah. You know, that sort of thing,
or possibly replace some parts, because
sure,
that fan. It's still blowing.
That's what I was thinking about.
It's still blowing.
Get a better fan or a quieter fan, or anything like that.
Yeah. If I just do a clean out, they say it'll sound better. But as long as I've had that thing, and as long as that thing's been running, or at least get a spare, just in case. Because if I take it apart once, have a guide on there, I can take it apart again if need be.
I think
it's just the thing. It's just I wouldn't say looking at the videos wasn't a hard thing to do. It's just tedious. Like I said, it's keeping up with all the screws, and I think because there's a lot of screws to take out, and disconnecting your cables from the board and whatnot. That's pretty much if you call it hard or whatnot. But if you built a computer and had to deal with putting all the wires and stuff together like that, it should be pretty simple. It's just going to be tedious.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is. It normally is. Whenever you do that, it's fun though. It can be fun. It can be a little nervous or nerve-wracking, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the most nerve-wracking moment I've ever had is putting RAM on the motherboard, because there's that crunching noise that you get on there. It's like, this should not sound like that, but this is the only way it fits in.
Yeah, RAM's a little weird when it does that, because you're putting more pressure than you feel like you should be, and then when it snaps and it's in, you're like, okay, good, I don't have to do that again.
Yeah.
But it's always a weird feeling, because you're putting so much pressure on that, or at least what feels like a lot of pressure on the motherboard.
Yeah, like I said, it's crunching.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear crunching with my electronics. No.
Let's see. Anything else? You played anything else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool, because I rarely have anything to say, but let's talk about Saints Row for a minute. Saints Row came out back in August, same time as the new season of Destiny, so August the 20-something. So it's been out for about a month now, and it was all right. It didn't actually make first place in sales due to Madden 23 and Grand Theft Auto 5.
How old is that game now?
I know, right? But it keeps getting re-released on new systems. So remember, exactly.
Double dipping, triple dipping, yeah.
Well, second place isn't bad. Saints Row Reboot has actually been a bit of a flop, at least as far as the Embracer CEO is concerned. As reported by GameIndustry.biz, 7.7 million games sold in tracked European territories during the month of August, and 2013's Grand Theft Auto 5 led the pack. Saints Row came in second, sandwiched between Grand Theft Auto 5 and FIFA 22. And in the States, the NPD stats showing the crime reboot losing out to Madden 23. So in the UK, it lost to Grand Theft Auto. In the States, it lost to Madden 23. Even though Madden 23 apparently had disastrous reviews, and GTA 5 came out 9 years ago. So a game with horrible reviews beat Saints Row the Reboot, and a game that's been out for 9 years beat the Saints Row reboot.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, folks. As long as EA has that exclusivity deal with the NFL, this is the effort you're going to get from them with your professional football simulator. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah. The Embracer CEO seems pretty down on Saints Row performance. During an investor call, he described the Crime Sim reboot as one of the harder ones for the company to see a return on. He's hoping to see a greater reception on the game, and that while it certainly won over some players, many others haven't been convinced. It wasn't all gloom and doom, however. He stressed that the company needs to wait until the quarterly report in November to have more details. Responding to inquiries about the future of the franchise, he highlighted his trust in those working on the game and said that any potential decisions are uncertain for now. I'm confident we'll make money on the investment. Would it have as great a return of investment that we have seen in many other games? Not very likely, but we will make money, and that's a good starting point. Asked if the game, obviously you always want every installment of any IP to be greater than the last one, but what you do is evaluate your position and the outcome, and then you decide to go forward. Saints Row, the reboot, has been fighting an uphill battle since its somewhat polarizing reveal last year. Though the series has always played second fiddle to GTA, its reappearance hasn't been terribly well received by critics and fans alike. It's one thing to contemplate what a modern Saints Row would need to look like and achieve in order to be as popular with gamers as it once was. It's another to consider how anything at this point could unseat something that remains as remarkably popular as GTA 5. A game that came out 9 years ago and keeps getting released on newer systems. Came out on the 360 and the PS3. Mm-hmm. Got re-released on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. Got a PC release.
Yep. And the mod community had a field day with it.
Yeah. And now it's getting released on the Series X and the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so anyway.
The issues that was like the gameplay, looking at it on from streams, the gameplay was pretty much relatively the same, and that wasn't the issue. It was the bugs, a lot of bugs, of course. That was the one thing that turned people off to it, and the story was something that turned people off as well. There were some elements of the story that people did not like. Didn't want in their Saints Row.
Moving on to another story. Yeah, I know.
Bugs can be fixed, but that story, not so much.
Yeah, I know. I'll get around to playing it probably.
Yeah, when the price drops.
Yeah, or it ends up on one of the free services. I don't know. Man, that's pretty much it. And or when I get done playing Destiny at some point. But yeah, never. Hey, I had a nice little break at the end there, and I am far enough ahead in this season that I can see myself. This season doesn't end until December. I can see myself at some point, even probably around Thanksgiving or the holidays, where I'll be, just biding time until the new season hits in December. Mm-hmm. Mainly because I packed so much into this beginning trying to do that day one raid.
Yeah.
Am I going to do that for next season? I sure am. I'm going to jam pack it, but I'm not going to be worrying about the raid because there is no new raid for this next season. There's nothing for me to get leveled up through by a certain date. Mm-hmm. But it is nice to be that far into my levels and my season this early on. And it doesn't take a lot of prep to get that done. It's just you holding on to bounties at a certain point. And then just collecting them as you go, and then doing that on all three characters.
Like you called it, doing the dailies.
Yeah. And it's not that big a deal. So
and it's like every time I log on, it's like go see Surya, because you got like 3 or 4 legendaries to pick up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was a YouTuber who screwed up. Yeah, I know, right? Like. There's wet.
There's a lot of streamers who screwed up.
Twitch is having some issues, man, or at least Twitch streamers.
You mentioned Twitch. I'm gonna, since we're on FCC airwaves, it's like someone did something really naughty, got punished, if you want to call it that, came back, did it again.
I know. No, Twitch's people are having some stuff going on over there.
Yeah, folks.
I'm glad
leaving left and right over.
So
from
glad
this, man.
I'm glad I'm not in that ecosystem. I don't want to be in that ecosystem. I don't like the look of that ecosystem. There was a Twitter account called The Real Insider, and the account had convinced many in the gaming industry that it was a real deal because it teased the new Assassin's Creed games that were going to be revealed. However, all it took was this YouTuber who this YouTube guy who does reviews and does previews and does a lot of these things. Mm-hmm. He had this Real Insider account on Twitter. That was the name of the account. And he also had his own account. So he posted as the Real Insider, throwing out a leak of some sort, Mm-hmm. Somebody replied to it. And when he went to answer that reply, he forgot to switch Twitter accounts. And so he replied as his real Twitter account, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the floodgates opened. A couple of reporters went back and started looking at the history from this insider account and then this dude's YouTube page and started seeing things sync up and eventually called him out on it, and he confessed.
Yeah.
YouTuber Dan Allen Gaming is the guy's name. Allen was leaking embargoed privileged information he had received as an influencer. He says, "I'm sorry to everyone for my actions," he wrote on Twitter before deleting both accounts. He has 189,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel where he posts guides, interviews, playthroughs. No one suspected him of secretly leaking industry marketing materials he received under embargo until he accidentally responded to someone on Twitter under his main Dan Allen Gaming account. Let's see. If this is legit, and looking through both accounts, they sure seem to tweet about the same games around the same time, it would explain how this Real Insider knew the code names of the new Assassin's Creed games. He broke the embargo himself. Al admitted it shortly after and posted an apology saying, "I'm sorry to everyone for my actions. I'm ashamed and disappointed in myself. I'll be taking time to reflect on my poor decisions, which will never occur again. To everyone that has supported me over the years, I'm truly sorry I let you down." Yeah, I've signed a few NDAs in my life. Mm-hmm. And I would say that I've broken a few of those NDAs privately. Yeah, I mean, of course. Like, I've signed a few where I've come in here and I've talked to you off air about something and said, "Oh yeah, look at this. This is really cool."
Yeah, like this. Yeah, this ain't something I'm like going straight to Twitter.
No, I didn't broadcast it over the air or anything like that. Yeah. But I've NDAs were kind of scary. I don't know if they're as scary as I think of them now. Mm-hmm.
Because no one, almost no one follows them. Really, it's like it comes out regardless.
Let's see. An update on the 20th says that Allen hasn't returned to Twitter, but he has posted a 5-minute apology video on his YouTube channel. He apologizes profusely to fans, colleagues, and others, and explains that some of the supposed leaks were nothing more than educated guesses or made up altogether. On 9/21, a spokesman for Ubisoft declined to comment, but provided the following. We regularly provide access and information on our games under NDA to trusted partners, non-disclosure agreements, by the way. When the trust is compromised, our information is leaked by an individual, it is not only damaging and demoralizing to our teams, but it takes away from an exciting reveal moment and experience for our players. While we won't speak on an individual case, we do take these matters seriously and will manage accordingly. NDAs are, you break NDAs, you can get sued. Mm-hmm. I don't know how bad they want to pursue a lawsuit with it, but breaking an NDA is you open yourself up to legal action. Mm-hmm. More so than like a cease and desist.
Yeah,
because you've already broken the contract. Mm-hmm. So there's worse things. I remember, and I'm telling you this is not a problem now, and I think I've said it before, but I remember when I was on the set, or I say set, but when I was at the mocap for, Uncharted 3. Mm-hmm. I was in LA for E3, and I was talking to Amy, and she had mentioned, we're filming up in Culver City. And, and she invited me there. And so I had to do a mad scramble to get my flight moved to a day, grab a hotel room in Culver City, so that I could do this and experience this. And I did. And I remember when I got there on set, there was catering for breakfast, and the actors were going in with her and other people to go in. They went to a trailer somewhere to do a quick script read through the thing before they went in and acted it out. And while that was going on, I had to sign 3 or 4 sheets of paper for an NDA. That I not reveal what I'm seeing or what I'm doing. I still secretly took pictures. I didn't take any video, but I took pictures and that sort of thing. It was very strange. I didn't, it wasn't like, I sat on a couch off set with a couple of other people as well and just watched them perform and watched them do what they were doing.
Yeah, just watch it behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it was an all-day event, and I got to sit there all day and watch them do this. But they never once, and I don't necessarily know that it's odd or whatever, but I think for me it felt fine because I didn't feel like I was imposing. Like they never came over and said, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you. You want to get a selfie or a shot, or you want to do pictures and something?" Nope, none of that. They were unconcerned with me whatsoever.
Yeah, they're focused on hitting their lines.
Right, exactly. This was not one of those things where it's like, "Hey, we have somebody here visiting" or something like that. No, this was just Amy saying, "You big fan? You want to see how this works?" Sure, I do. Yeah, and I actually made more friends with the guy who rents out that space. God, his name's Bill Beamer. I still remember his name. I talked to him, and I talked to Josh and Amy, of course. I didn't talk to Nolan. I didn't talk to Graham. I didn't talk to who plays the role of
Claudia
Black. Claudia Black, that's her name. What's the character that she plays? I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the series. So.
I know. I can't remember her name, but Claudia Black, that's her. I didn't. No conversations. Didn't have any conversations. I would sit there and listen to them as they were looking at Twitter videos or something, because TikTok wasn't a thing, Snapchat wasn't a thing. They were looking at Facebook or Twitter videos or something, and talking about, oh, that's fake. That's got to be fake. And then whatever, moving on. It was just it was just interesting to see, and I had to sign an NDA for it. So. Yeah.
Good times, though, man.
It was really cool. It was really, really cool. I've signed other NDAs for when I've gone to.
I figure all the time you go to E3, see things,
preview events and things like that. But usually those are NDA. This NDA lasted until at least the game released, or even further. And this was a ways back. Usually the NDAs that I'm talking that I normally have to sign last until the game gets released, which is later that year.
Yeah.
It's not something that is years and years and years down the line. So anyway, that is going to do it for us. We are done. And spooky season starts next week. So we'll be throwing out some spooky music for you. And if you've got any, just hit us up. Any of our locations, if you want to, request a few songs from some horror games, more than happy to do it. Love this time of year. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the chat room. Thanks for Chris for calling. Thanks, everybody who gets our show on iTunes and YouTube and everything else. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Join us on Discord. Join us on Facebook and everything else. Just join us. Enjoy it. Have fun. We love it. We like you're here, and we thank you so much for listening. We're going to leave you here with music from The Outbound Ghost, which sounds like I should save it for next week.
You're getting into Halloween music earlier, aren't you?
Might as well be a preview for you. In fact, this is what it is. It's a bunch of clips of the soundtrack, so here you go. It's The Outbound Ghost. Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday. That is not spooky at all, is it? That's better.